There are many different components to wellness that have their 15 minutes of fame. Exercise and mental health have been steady pillars of necessity on social media. The result of social media wellness leaves other lesser-known aspects of wellness starving for attention. For the next 18 weeks, I will be doing an experiment with my own wellness that involves focusing on each aspect of wellness and finding out how I can attend to these micro needs after this experiment concludes.
Hey guys, so I literally just filmed this video like Tuesday. It's Sunday currently. I filmed it on Tuesday, and then the video file kept getting messed up, and I literally couldn't fix it. So now I have to refilm and then post today. So you're getting like a basically live version of this video. But hold on. Hey y'all. So this week's topic was about career and business. And now a lot of the stuff that I've been posting on TikTok and Instagram has like not been related to this at all, because I am just way too afraid to like post my job. I talk about my job a lot, like where I work, but like I don't want to like post being in there, especially being as high up as I am. I don't want to like jeopardize anything. But so I thought today we could kind of, I'm back with another list. We could kind of speed run my employment, and then just talk about like my dream career and stuff like that. Which, in my head, like side note, dream career like just seems crazy to me because I don't really dream to work. I just want to like exist and have hobbies. Like I want to work in the way of self-fulfillment. I don't want to have to work in order to survive, you know? But either way, let's get into it. So when I was 13, I started babysitting. No, I was probably younger than that. I think I was like 12. But I just wanted like $20 so I can go to the Circle K and get a soda and a candy. Like that's literally all I wanted money for. So I was 12 years old, like just babysitting, because I have cousins that are like 13 plus years younger than me. I have like my stepmom's brothers have kids. I was just babysitting everyone and anyone I could. And I really hated babysitting though. Like I cannot connect with kids for the life of me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just like I'm too serious or too monotone or what, but like I cannot connect with kids. And so I really did not like babysitting. And I didn't like having to take care of kids. Like I feel that was a lot of responsibility, like keeping children alive. Scary. But it did get me my soda and candy. And fun story, the one time I was babysitting one of my stepmom's brother's kids, and there was this concert I really wanted to go to, like 3 hours away, and my parents couldn't take me. And so I was like, hey, I'll babysit your kid for free if you take me to this concert. And it worked. It literally worked. So that was kind of funny. Other than that, like I really just didn't like babysitting. So I was waiting the day I turned 15 to go get a job. But problem was I turned 15, COVID happened. Not getting a job. So I had to wait until my sophomore year, like my beginning of my sophomore year of high school, because that's when like it was September 2020. So like things were low-key starting to open back up, like just enough to where my parents were okay with me getting a job. So I got a job at my uncle's pizza place. It was pretty fire though. Like I don't know. I hated it at the time, but looking back at it, having to do what I do now, it was so easy. Like I don't know why I was so stressed, because maybe I'm like looking at it through a romanticized lens, but at the same time, like why was I so stressed? I was like 15. So I started working at my uncle's pizza place, and it was super easy. Like I was really worried that I was going to get burnt out and just not want to go back. I don't know. I liked a lot of the people that worked there. All of them were like people in the grades above me, so I didn't really know anyone that worked there, but like I knew of them. And so that kind of like got me like low-key networking, I guess, with people in the grades above me, which was pretty cool. And then it also just like kind of defined me as a worker, because I at work am a busy bee. I am constantly doing something. I will never be sitting still, stuff like that. So, and it kind of, that place really defined me as a worker because I feel like the faster we got stuff done, the faster we got to leave. So in my head, all the time now, I'm like, well, if I just get everything done now, I get to go home at my scheduled time, which is like good. So I'm like pre-planning, and then I was there for about a year, and my favorite manager said she was moving and quitting, and I said, "Oh man," because we only had one manager. It was like a small business, so I was like, no need for more than one. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, whatever will I do? And so then I got the bright idea to quit. And so, because I didn't really agree with the direction they were going with for management after that. So I just kind of was like, okay, I'm going to quit and we'll figure it out. So I was unemployed for about a month. And then my dad was like, yo, you need to get a job. And I'm like, okay. So I got a job at Little Caesars, one pizza place to another. And Little Caesars was all right. I mean, like, I feel like I didn't really do anything there. Like, I feel like all I did was, like, make pizza sometimes and then stand around. They wouldn't really give you, like, cleaning tasks or anything. They would just kind of, like, be like, okay, if there's no order change screen, you can just kind of do nothing. And I really hated that. Like, that was, like, I was like, okay, whatever. I really hated that they wouldn't give me anything to do. So I would, and, like, I could, like, find something to do, but I was like, why would I do that when it's literally their job to tell me what to do? So then, in about, like, I started there in December, or November. In April, I quit. I was like, fuck this place. I'm so sick of it. I don't understand why it's gonna, like, I don't understand why they aren't giving me tasks. And then I was also getting paid, like, garbage. I think I was getting paid, like, $8.50, and I was like, man, I was making $9.70, or I was making $9.25 at Michael's, my uncle's pizza place. I was making $9.25 there. I'm gonna go back. And so then I talked to my aunt and I was like, hey, Queen, so I was like, I hate Little Caesars. It low-key sucks over there. Can I come back? And she was like, yes, you can come back. We'll be more than willing to welcome you. We'll keep you at the pay you were at, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, perfect. So then I go back, make it $9.25, an extra dollar, and I'm just like, la, 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 la. And so then I go back, and I'm just doing the same job as the manager. So I'm like, well, can I just be a manager then? And they were like, yeah, sure. So now I'm in management at like 17, and I'm just running this restaurant, bro. And so it would be, well, they were open 11 to 9. During the end of my junior year, which would have been when I went back, I started doing, or I would work the nights and she would work the opens, and we would intersect for like 2 hours or so, if that. And so I was literally working like 5 days a week, just like doing closes, and it was pretty cool. I ended up getting my own key, which was like awesome, but we just kind of, I don't know, it was fun. I worked with a lot of my siblings, and so it was literally just like being at home but having to work. So we would get that stuff done as fast as humanly possible. Like, we were out of there by 9 every single night. And that was kind of crazy. But then I worked with my younger brother, my younger sister, and my stepsister. Now, me and my stepsister did not get along at this job. I think it was just because me telling her what to do. I think that was the issue. But that was also what I was getting paid to do. So she ended up quitting first. And then I was the next one to quit because in April I got a job April of my senior year. I was like, man, Michael's isn't paying me a lot. I was up to $10.25 at that point, which for like my town is like pretty decent. I was like, man, I'm not making enough to save up money. Like, I heard about this place called Sky King, and it's a fireworks store, and Ken worked there, and they were like, well, you work X amount of hours, but you get paid, but you get to work like 17-hour days for 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make some, like, I made a couple grand in 2 weeks, and I was like, dang, okay. But they said that they could start me in April, so I was like, okay, cool. So then I quit Michael's in April, and I went to Sky King, and I was like, okay, guys, why am I getting 1 day a week of work? And they were like, well, we can't give you more than that right now, but we're just kind of training you. And in my head, I was like, in my selfish head, I'm like, yeah, give me more hours. Why did I quit if I'm not getting hours? And then I got over it, and I was like, well, it's kind of nice, like, low-key being unemployed, because, like, I have all this free time, you know? And so I was getting ready for college. I was finishing up all my schoolwork ahead of time so I could be done, like, stuff like that. So it was kind of nice to have that last, like, 2 months low-key just off of school. And then the weekend after I graduated, I really started locking in at this job. They were giving, like, 40 hours a week, more than that sometimes, getting us ready for that 2 week before the 4th of July period. And now this job was super fun. I worked with Ken, and there was, like, a little group we had of us friends, the register girls, that would talk. There was, like, so much drama because we were all just around each other so often. It was, like, low-key entertaining if you weren't a part of it. But, like, there was just so much happening, and it was really fun. And then during that 2 week span, it was literally terrible. Like, it was, like, 9 a.m. to 3 a.m. or something like that. And it was these long, odd days. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, somebody kill me now. Like, I'm so tired. But that paycheck was fat. That paycheck was fat. I think I put $1,000 for spending because I still had to buy college stuff, like stuff for my dorm, school supplies, stuff like that. And then also just having money for the rest of the summer to, like, do fun things. So I put, like, $1,000 there. And then I put $2,500 away for savings, which really helped my savings account because, like, even though I've been working for a long time, I did not save up much money. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a spender. And so I had like I ended up having like 7K saved for school, which was awesome because you know what that meant? I didn't have to work for like the first like 3 months. So that was so great, but I'll get into that. So after Sky King ended, the like 4th of July was like the last day, but sometimes they would text you to come in, like see if you wanted hours another day. So I know I worked on the 5th, and I just kind of like sat there and did absolutely nothing for 6 hours, and it was terrible. So I just never went back in for another shift. I enjoyed the rest of my summer. So I know I don't know, it was fun. Like I just kind of had 2 months off, or a month off from everything, and I was really able to just kind of savor my time in my hometown before I left. It was super cool. Like I really enjoyed it. I don't know. I definitely enjoy seasonal work because you can make so much money in such a short amount of time. But then I moved to Oklahoma in August of 2023, and I was like first starting out college. I was just kind of like getting on my feet, everything, finding friends, all this stuff. And so I was so lucky to be able to take the first like 3 months off. But then in October, Ken and I were talking about moving in together, and we needed an apartment. And I was like, well, that means I should probably get a job. And so I'm like, man, nowhere is getting back to me. Like, you'd think in a college town with like a million different like little restaurants and like shopping things, like a place would get back to you about a job. No. So the only place to get back to me was McDonald's. And I was like, man, at first I was like, man, I don't want to work at McDonald's. Like, I want something better than that. And then I ended up working at McDonald's. And so in November, I was able to put down a down payment for my apartment, security deposit, all of that, first month's rent, all that. And then I got hired at McDonald's like at the end of November, like right before I went home for Christmas. So I worked like 3 weeks, and then I went home for a month, and then I came back, and that's when I really started like actually working there. Like I feel like the first like 3 weeks were like the Twilight Zone. I literally had no idea what was going on, but I would just show up and get paid. So those like first 2-3 weeks were like weird, but then after that I kind of started getting into the groove of it, and I was like, man, this job is super easy. Like I just have to like hand food out the window and tell them to have a good day. And then in May I was like, man, I was getting paid $9.75 for having a year of management experience and like 2-3 years of working experience total. I was like, man, I'm making $9.75, and for what? So I was like, let me see what promotion I can get. So then I was like, well, they have a crew trainer position. Like, it's like a step in between management and crew trainer. And I was like, man, let me become a crew trainer. So then I talked to the guy, and I'm like, hey, man, I want this promotion because I'm literally doing it anyways without getting paid for it. And they were like, okay, well, you have to learn the kitchen. And I'm like, no, don't put me in the kitchen. But then I learned kitchen and got really good at it. But before they could promote me to that, they were like, hey, you want to be a manager? And I said, sure. Because it's an extra, like, $2. So I was like, yes, give me that extra $2. And so then the entirety of last summer, I trained for that position. I was training with, like, 4 other people. But really, 2 of us got promoted, which was, like, crazy. Because 2 quit, and then the other just ended up quitting after he didn't get promoted at the same time as me and my friend Abby. That's how Abby and I met, by the way, was McDonald's. So we're both training for this management position. And it's like, in my head, I'm like, wow, why is this taking literally forever to do? Like, I don't understand why this is taking 3 months to be promoted. And then eventually in August, I got my black shirt, and I was like, heck yeah. So now I'm running floors, and I'm failing all over the place. I'm like, man, this is hard. Like, why is this so difficult? Management in fast food is completely different than, like, small town, family-owned business management. And so then I'm like, man, I'm really not cut out for this. And then, in my personal opinion, I got really good at my job. I don't know. I work with a bunch of high school kids because I'm, like, the only manager close in age to them. So they, like, listen more, I guess. But, I don't know. I feel like I'm a pretty decent manager, I would say. I make sure everyone's happy. I have some empathy skills. And then after, like, I don't know, in about April of this year, there was news that the hiring person, or like, it's called like the people department. So it's like hiring and then making sure that people stay, and it's like HR work, basically, stuff like that. That person was going to be moving to a different place, and I was like, okay, I'm going to swoop in and get more pay because I want money. And so I was like, I'm trying to buy a car. I'm still trying to buy a car. I go home literally tomorrow, and I'm praying. Okay, so this is such a side note, but I'm praying that there is this yellow Subaru, and I want it so bad, and it's in a car dealership in my hometown, and if it is gone by the time I get home, I'm gonna be pissed. Anyways, so I'm trying to save it for a car, and like, I'm like, man, I feel like I can't put money into savings anymore. Like, I'm trying to get this promotion. So I sell myself to my boss, and I'm like, hey, I heard a rumor there's an opportunity opening up, and I would love to talk to you about that. That was literally a direct quote, and she was like, oh, of course we'll talk about it. But I was like, man, this was too easy. And so then I go into training, and I'm like, man, this is hard. Like, why is people management so hard? Because I have to do like performance reviews, conflict resolution. I have to make sure I'm the one that makes sure that everyone is happy. And now that is a daunting task. Okay, everyone's needs are different, and like, I feel like at least with the kids, I've been able to kind of get it into a routine to where I know how to run them. But with everybody that works there, everybody likes different things, and I'm a people pleaser. Okay, so I want to make sure everyone is happy. But sometimes when you can't make everybody happy, and I feel like that's going to be like my biggest downfall, is I'm going to be trying to make every single person happy, but I can't. And so I'm trying to, like, I don't know. I'm really trying my darndest, but I feel like I'm going to get it down. Hopefully I got a raise for being such a good employee. So I'm hoping that didn't count as my department manager raise. But also I get more scholarship money, so like, shoot. Fun fact, a lot of fast food places have scholarship programs, so you should totally work in fast food when you're in college, and get that bread, especially McDonald's. McDonald's is a pretty good one, so keep that in mind when applying for jobs. Oh, one thing I forgot to talk about. My freshman year, when I was applying for jobs to like pay my rent, I was also trying to apply for like internships because I was like, let me kill two birds with one stone. Let me take internship experience and use that for my rent. And then I ended up getting a call back from one place, and it was in the admissions of my college, like the admissions department. And it was a social media intern. Like I would just help run their account, and then I would also do other stuff with like there were admissions counselors that would kind of like recruit people. I would like box up stuff for them, do little tasks for them, stuff like that. And I was like, okay, cool. 10 an hour, like better than what I would be paid at McDonald's. How many hours? 10 hours a week was the max I could have. And I was like, okay, yeah, no. But then in my head, I was like, well, what if I juggled two jobs? So me part-time, like this is pre-management, Juliana, is working like 24 hours a week at McDonald's and like 10 hours at this internship. And the good thing about the internship was that it's an 8 to 5. So I could just go in between my classes, and that's exactly what I did. I would just go in between classes and work there. So I'd work like 10 hours there, get paid like $400 a month, because like a little bit under because of taxes and all that, but like $400 a month, and then whatever income I was getting from McDonald's, so I was able to like pay rent and like still eat. So like that was pretty cool. But then after a while, or it was after I got promoted into management, I was like, man, I was struggling so bad because they promoted me into management right the week school started. And so I'm trying to figure out this job. I'm trying to be present at my internship. I'm trying to be present in my schoolwork. I'm like still navigating my career path. Like there was just so much piling up that I was like, by November, I was literally like, oh my gosh, somebody kill me now. And so I went through and I reevaluated all my priorities, and I was like, something needs to go. And at first I was like, McDonald's needs to go. And then I was like, no, they pay my rent. My internship needs to go. But in my head, it was so conflicting to me because I was like, I don't want to quit because I really like the job and I like doing what I do, and I don't want to lose all that experience I could be getting. But I was like, I'm really struggling. And so then I asked my boss. I was so brave for doing this. I didn't think I would actually do it, but I was so brave. I asked for like a couple months off from my internship so that I could kind of just like decompress and like figure out what I wanted to do. And I was so scared when I talked to her that was going to be my last day walking into that room, because I was so certain they were going to be like, yeah, no, you can just quit then. And I was like, oh, okay. But no, they were very nice about it. They said, they were like, take all the time you need, like, we're here to support you when you come back, blah, blah, blah. And so then I took off from the end of the fall semester to the end of spring break. And so then, like, that first, like, 3 months of the new semester, I was like, man, I feel great. I'm, like, working. I'm having free time. I'm being able to, like, focus on schoolwork, all this stuff. And then spring break starts to creep up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go back to my internship. So I'm freaking out, and I'm like, okay, try it. Like, just try and go back. Worst case, you don't like it, and you just quit. So I go back, and I'm, like, still struggling a little bit, like, I became a gym rat last semester, and so after I would wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym, go to my internship, go to class, go to work, and then get home at, like, 11. So I wasn't really sleeping. I wasn't really, like, taking care of myself. And so then, when that internship, or when that people department thing opened up, I was like, score. Here's the plan. Because my degree specifically is in strategic communication. My emphasis might be in social media, but like the core of my degree is communication strategically. So I was like, okay, I'm going to use this HR thing as internship experience in my head and on my resume. So I feel like I am justified now to leave my internship behind, because I was like, I cannot keep doing this working two jobs thing. I am running myself into the ground. I'm not taking care of myself, all this stuff. So I was like, I felt so bad. But then I was like, I will finish out the semester. I'm so sorry for wasting your time. And they were like, no, no problem, blah, blah, blah. Like, so I finished out the end of the semester. And then I did get like a year and a half of experience out of them, which was pretty cool. And I learned a lot from there. Like, I really enjoyed the job. I did not want to leave. I just like had to for my own mental state. Um, but I was like, okay, so now I'm able to use this HR thing as kind of like internship experience, but it's kind of like it's more in my head. Let me like explain this. In my head, it's like, yes, it's like my job and not really an internship, but also it's making me a more well-rounded candidate in like a world of job opportunities. Like, I'm able to do social media work, I'm able to do um, hiring and internal management and career development stuff. So it's just making me more well rounded. And hopefully, my goal is to try and get another internship, like a third one, like in the like next summer, and just kind of do that. Um, the goal is low key to do that and back in Pennsylvania, so I can watch my sister graduate and like be there for all of her stuff. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, now we're in the present moment. Um, Career, I again, like, I don't really have like a dream. Like, my dream job, I guess, would be to create content. Like, I love doing this. I love creating videos. Even if 7 people watch them, like, I'm still loving making videos. So I guess would be like my dream career is to do that. But realistically, I gotta think like traditional career path. So I have 2 options right now. I can stay at McDonald's for the rest of my life, or I can use my degree. Right now, I'm leaning towards using my degree, but we'll see because, like, I'm sure the higher up you climb in McDonald's, the more you get paid. So, like, ooh, I might do that. But at the same time, like, I don't see fast food as my future. I kind of just see it as a stepping stone to pay my bills. But who knows? Maybe that'll change in a couple years. Maybe in 2 years, I'll be really excited about um, like McDonald's and fast food, and I will get like a higher level management position. Who knows? But as of right now, I really just want to use my degree and make videos. Like, all I really want to do is just sit and make videos all day. But realistically, I'm gonna have to get a 9 to 5, 8 to 5, whatever they are now. So I guess like social media work would be the big one I want to do. Like brand social media work. Um, that stuff is okay. What I really would want to do is like celebrity Instagram account, like Instagram, like celebrity social media is what I want to do. I think that'd be so fun. To be like just posting as like Billie Eilish or something. That would be super cool. And then I would also really like kind of doing it for corporations is like kind of like the back burner idea. But what I really would want to do is like just interview people, kind of like how Emma Chamberlain does on the Met Gala carpet. Like, that is what I want to do. I want to interview people so bad. I love hearing about people's experience. I wanted to do interview videos before, but I don't really have anyone to like interview. You know, like, I don't really know anybody, and I guess I could just like ask, but beside the point. But that would be super cool. I want to interview stuff like that. But I guess like I just want to create stuff. I don't really want to have to like check off a mundane task list of stuff to do. I just want to be able to create, and who knows, like maybe I'll do something completely different than what I'm talking about in this video and just like open up a hot yoga studio and just like do that, I guess. But I don't know. But the kind of the back burner idea is cosmetology. That's like the back burner. If all else fails, I'll go to cosmetology school. I don't know. You can't really tell in this lighting, but like I dyed my hair bright orange, except I missed some, so ignore it. But I've been doing my own hair and nails, nail check, doing all those for forever now. I've always just really liked cosmetology. It's just not, I don't know, I was always told I was too smart for it, so I'm trying to. Hey guys, so my camera literally just freaking died on me. So I think what I was saying was stuff about cosmetology school, but that's like kind of like the back burner idea. Like, you can kind of see a little bit better, but it's kind of like a bright orange now. The top is like really bright because I got that really blonde, but it looks bad right now because I haven't like done anything to it yet. But anyways, cosmetology is kind of the back burner idea. I'm really just hoping to create stuff. That's all I really want to do.
So you guys supporting me and being here for that is like super awesome, and I really appreciate you guys. And I'm really excited to grow our little family out. But if you like today's video, go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Next week's topic is about adventure, and I'm super freaking excited for that video. It's gonna be so fun. So just be tuned for that. I love y'all. I hope you have a good day. Mwah.